And we're live. PKA.
Every now and then, I have gone on the road with like a comic I don't know, and they're like hard to talk to, and that's so weird to me because most comics have opinions about everything. They might be terrible opinions. We will talk shit about anything. You could tell me something I've never heard about before, and I'll instantly have an opinion about it. Like, and I may be being a dick about it, but it's a conversation. And if I'm ever on the road with someone who like I can't talk to, I'm just like, how are you ever going to make it as a comic? Like, I don't understand. You're not a professional communicator, as you said, Woody.
Obama used to say that about his senators. He's like, by and large, everyone who is a senator up here has won a popularity contest. So mostly, you know, they're pretty nice guys to spend time with. He's like, but every once in a while, it's like, how did you get this job? You know? How did you become senator? Because that happens too.
Yeah, I guarantee that's how it is in politics, the same way it is in sales, like Kyle would know, where you're like, man, you got a bunch of people who are really qualified and good at talking to people and getting them rolling on certain thought patterns. But then every once in a while, there's a blithering retard that finds his way into that
Rich
position.
Donville. I still remember that motherfucker's name.
Rich Donville, the fucking blithering retard of the car dealership.
Dude, he needed the money too. That was the worst part. If I sold 12 cars a month, I was swimming in cash. I had so much money as a 19-year-old. You know, it was just so much extra money because I had no bills. It was just free money. Mm-hmm. Rich had a family. He had a wife and like 2 kids, and he had like gotten fired from like a real job. Like, I don't know what he did before, but he had all of his old suits from his old job, and like he'd come in there with his hair all slicked back and the dark circles that got darker every day under his eyes, and his suits that got more and more wrinkled by the
don't
day.
Respect me, eyes.
Picture Gil. Was it Gil from The Simpsons?
Yes, it's Gil from The Simpsons. Oh, yes, Gil's gonna get him this time.
Oh, Gil, this is the day where you're going to bring it home. Shelley's been telling you, Cheryl, whoever's been telling you for so long that it's not going to work.
Oh, you're going to get sell a car today, now, Gil. You're going to sell a car today, and Kyle's not going to steal your chair. Wrong on both counts, Rich. Wrong on both counts. You ain't selling shit, and I'm stealing your car because I'm 19 years old. I don't give a fuck.
My favorite people in the world are comedians, and my least favorite people in the world are comedians. I would still rather talk to those least favorite people in the world than like someone who can't fucking tell a story.
This motherfucker was about to sell a car one day. Well, maybe not. He was at the point of a car sale where you have a customer sitting at your desk. You are going back and forth to a manager with the numbers, right? They're like, I don't think I want to pay that, but I would pay this. And he's like, well, hell, I'll go see what the manager says. And he's like walking back over with the papers. So while he's doing that, I'm watching discreetly from my desk with my best buddy. And I'm like, watch this shit. And so I sort of walk over to his desk, and our desks aren't in like offices. They're in like a big common space. And and the customers are a bit distracted. They're looking at an SUV that's behind them. You know, we're in a showroom, so there's cars parked all around us. So they're kind of looking back at, I think maybe even the car they were thinking about buying. And when they do, I just casually walk by, grab his fucking office chair, the salesman, and leave with it. And I don't just put it behind the next desk. I fucking leave with it. It's gone. It's on the other end of the showroom behind a fucking Honda or some shit. And
You're
then it's gone. So now he comes back to his desk and he's like, well, I got some, where the fuck is my chair? And you can tell he's just so awkward because he doesn't have a chair now, but he wants to present these numbers. You can tell he's been thinking about what he's going to say when he gets back to this desk. He's got it. I'll say this.
Oh, this poor guy.
Boom, bada bing. And now this massive wrench has been thrown into the works. That is the fact that he doesn't have a fucking chair. He can't even sit with them. So he's just awkwardly stands there, sort of leaning on the desk, and we're just watching, just melting down, laughing our asses off because he didn't belong there.
This is the guy with all the kids that you're fucking with?
Yeah. Those hungry kids.
Kyle, do you know how he eventually killed himself? Or you
Yeah, it was pills.
my God.
It's sad.
Some carbon monoxide
Nah, he
poisoning
didn't
from
kill
some
himself.
car he couldn't
It's
sell.
still
No.
sad. It's like
No.
he didn't.
Well, we had to push him out, like it's like I don't know what to describe it as. It's like we're in the ocean and everybody's sort of kicking and treading water for survival, and we've only got 8 gallons of water because that's all Mom put in the boat. And you just look over there and you're like, that guy is really having a hard time treading water.
You should check under the stairs. There might be more water.
I think that maybe if he were to die today, we'd all have more water, and maybe the Coast Guard finds us. And that was the situation with Rich. There was only so much water.
So if I understand this right, you're 19. You have so much money, more than you know what to do with. You're so fabulously rich.
I'm just buying paintball stuff. Every weekend that I don't have time to use.
So what you should do is bully this poor guy with a wife and children who's having a hard time. He's at a real low point in his life, so that you can have more Coast Guard water or something.
That's exactly what we did. And he was moved from sales, quote unquote. He was actually told that he was not going to be selling cars anymore because he couldn't sell cars. He was never going to be able to sell cars. He was wasting his time there and just prolonging the slow death that is a bad car salesman's life. And so they moved him to like this internet department. So then he worked for us as like a secretary, which was much better. Now he would like butter customers up over the internet, and then he would come to someone like me and he's like, all right, Kyle, this guy's coming in to look at this truck. He can do this, this, and that. And then I'd sell him a fucking car because I can do that. And he just couldn't do it. He was never going to make it. We were putting him out of his misery while entertaining ourselves because we were working fucking 80 hours a week.
Woody, I think what you missed in the story, the moral of the story is that Kyle's a hero.
Yeah, there's an act of kindness where he saved this guy from making more money.
I saved lots of people from making more money, and yeah, absolutely. No, he wasn't gonna sell him a car because he couldn't sell him a car. What he was doing was wasting water. He was wasting customers, and we all hated that. Like you're not gonna sell every customer a car, but there's a percentage of failure at which point you're just like, dude's just dribbling it all. Remember when Frodo? I hope Taylor's here in this part. Remember when Frodo and Sam are climbing up the fucking mountain of doom at the end, and
don't spoil it.
And Frodo's out of fucking water, and Sam's like, "Here, have some of mine." And Frodo grabs Sam's water, and he like spills it all down his chin. He's wasted a huge amount of the few drops they have left. That was Rich. Rich needed to go, and so we got rid of him. And we did that to lots of people. If somebody came in and they were good at car sales, we couldn't fuck them up. If I took a good salesman's fucking chair, he'd have come in there like the Fonz and like slid on the desk or something, or he'd have told them all to come with him. Rich had a meltdown by the end of that day. Like he got pissed. He got all red faced, like, "Oh, where's my chair? People are taking my chair." Get out of here, Rich. Go back to the BBC.
I gotta say, Kyle, I wasn't on your side until the Lord of the Rings analogy, and now I get it.
Yeah, now you understand.
Didn't understand it then, but now I get it.
Circle of life. There's only so much water. There's 25 fucking people drinking out of it. They add a 26th person. And if that person can't fucking drink without dribbling it down their chin, we don't want them there.
Doesn't matter that Kyle had more water than he knew what to do with.
I earned every drop of it.
When I bought a car, the salesman, like I had walked in going, "Here's the car that I want. I saw that it's on your lot. I'd like to buy it." And they were like, "Do you want to test drive it?" I'm like, I've driven one before. I'm sure it's fine. I'd like to get in and out of here as quickly as possible. They already had the sale. Just happened to be the person who I was talking to is the one who gets the sale.
Yeah.
And like I'm sitting there, and it is, by the way, I walked in right before closing. So there's no reason for another customer to be coming in after me when I've already been at the desk for 20 minutes. So someone walks in with what looks like an empty envelope, dressed the same as all the other salespeople. And the woman who's trying to sell me the car just like, "Oh, hey, Dave, good to see you. What are you doing here?" And he goes, just paying for the Prius. That's what I was buying as well. He was just paying for the Prius. And she goes, "Well, how do you like it?" He goes, "Well, what I feel doesn't matter. My friends are all jealous, and isn't that the point?"
Oh,
I just
God.
looked at her. I just look at her and I'm
friends
just
are all
like,
jealous of his Prius.
It's a setup.
I just look at her and I'm like,
they're fucking selling or boy.
yeah. And I just say to her and I go, I'm already buying the car. What are you trying to do? She's like, whatever are you talking about? I was like, that guy he's going to another day. You know what? Fine, forget about it. So then when I was with the finance guy afterward, I asked him, I just go, hey, how do the commissions work with the sales here? Like, do you get any of it? And he goes, if I help sell the car, yeah. I go, so if you help sell this car, you get like half the commission? And he goes, yeah. And I go, put down that you're the reason I bought the car.
Smart.
But I was just like, fuck that asshole. Like
Yeah.
I was already buying it. That stupid community theater bullshit she tried to pull on me. I'm not that stupid. So it cost her whatever, $1,000 or whatever the hell the commission was.
Whew.
Good.
And the finance guy was
It
very
definitely
pleased
was
with how that went
1,000.
down.
It wasn't $1,000,
Well,
but it cost her money. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I like pettiness as well. So that's.
I love that they had a ringer come in. I love the Prius. I can't wait to get going. 0 to
was
60 in a minute and a half. Count me in.
Yeah.
I
Car goes 0 to 60 in theory.
They were selling.
I'm sure he was just like a couple desks down.
They were trying to sell me some additional warranty, and my philosophy on these is that if it was a good deal for me, then you wouldn't sell it to me, right? That's the thought. Obviously, they've worked out that if I pay an extra $1,000 a year on this thing, I probably get less than $1,000 a year in repairs, and that's why they're selling it to me. That's what's in my head. So he's laying it out, and I listen to him politely, but like obviously, I'm waiting for it to end. And no, so he goes to a cheaper option, and we go through a couple of them, and I'm like, dude, like I lay it out there. This isn't happening. And he's like, well, if you're not going anywhere, at least get there fast. And he skipped to the end, and we signed the papers. I loved it.
Yeah,
Good
it is a good deal a lot of the times because what they've actually factored in is over the course of all of our customers, how many will actually have X, Y, and Z issue that costs 1, 2, and 3, multiplied by how many customers will actually remember they have a warranty and use it, minus what you're paying times X amount of customers. Like we sold this thing called Permaplate, which didn't even exist, which was supposed to be like a fabric, coating that repelled stains and liquids. And
it was supposed to be a fabric coating.
Yeah, like we had these swatches of fabric that had been treated with a thing called Permaplate, and you could pour like fucking Coca-Cola on these like cloth seats, and it would just roll off like water, like it was glass. Pretty cool, I guess. If you got kids, especially, and you've got cloth seats. But we and also in the paint, it was supposed to prevent like sun damage, UV damage, and fading and all that bullshit. But the thing is, we didn't actually put it on the cars, like ever, like because I remember it was $700. It was $700 to have Permaplate applied to your car, and I remember asking a manager once. I was like, so do all the cars already have it on them, and then we just try to sell it? Or do they apply it if we sell it? Because it's an addition thing that I would sell as a salesman, like during the car sale. It wasn't the finance shit that happens with the warranties. It was before that. And he's like, yeah, something like that. And I was like, what? Well, it's either one or the other. Either it's on them all already, or it's on none of them already, and they're gonna put it on. He's like,
there is a third option.
It's really about peace of mind.
Put it on nothing.
They're like, what do you mean it's about peace of mind? He's like, well, you get a warranty when you buy the Permaplate, and if you get a stain, then we fix the seat. I was like, okay, all right, but
there's a good little bit of advice. If a salesman says that it's for your peace of mind, you don't need it.
What it was
guaranteed.
Look, the thing was, I could sell Permaplate for $100 or $110. I would just make numbers up sometimes. I've sold it for $1,000 before. Like just making the numbers up as I went along. Just sell it for whatever, and they'd be like, "Sure, whatever. Fuck it. Oh, $100 Permaplate? Yeah, just write it up. Let's go." because it's just extra. And what you were actually buying was a warranty. There was no coating on your car. Your seats are regular fucking seats, but you just bought a warranty that says if your seats ever fucking get stained, they'll replace them bitches. It was a huge value when you got to the bottom of it, because no one, and I mean no one, ever came back in and said, I've got a stain on my seat. They never did it once. I've never heard of it. No one ever saw it happen. It never occurred. No, everybody forgets.
Oh, you mean it was a huge value for you as a salesperson?
No. For you as a customer. If I were selling that car to my best friend in the world, I'd be like, let's get the permaplate on there, get it on the contract. Let's just do it, make it $100 or $200 if we can. But if you've got to pay $700 for this, let's do it. Because if you ever fucking get a stain on your seat, they're not just going to massage the stain out. They have to replace that motherfucker. They have to they have to refabricate your whole seat.
What I'm getting out of this is you would have upcharged your hypothetical best friend.
I'd have sold my best friend
$200.
I'd have sold my best friend one of the most fantastic warranties in existence on the planet that allows them at any time for like
Man,
5 years.
you really put into the bullshit, didn't you?
No, it was real. It doesn't.
Not only would you
There's
have
no
sold
bullshit.
it, you would have sold it to your best friend and had an extra empty seat right next to you.
As sure as there are 2 chairs behind my desk, for some reason, this is a good deal.
No, even better. You see this chair right here?
This is what, this
You see this chair right here? It's been coated with permaplate. I just pour a whole Coca-Cola on it. You notice how that's soaking in and really staying in the fabric? Well, it doesn't make a fuck because the warranty still covers it. Am I right?
20
Tell
minutes
him,
later,
Rich.
Rich's ass
Tell
is covered in
him,
soda.
Isn't that right, Rich? He's over there with his pants off in the seat.
There's some poor guy who's just like, man, I don't
get the mustard out.
I don't make nearly enough of this spark to clear the mustard out. The salesman Kyle, he says to them, it will get mustard right out. What he does, he spray the mustard. I begin to suck it up, but it never get out. Thankfully, he put them away before they noticed.
I feel that way about
I want to go
all
home.
warranties. I feel every warranty. I feel like they have some actuary who's figured out that they're selling me $1,000 thing because they know it'll have less than that in repairs.
It's about how
There's actually
You're 1,000,000% right, buddy.
And the thing that
There's
Kyle is saying, hey,
math.
I'm sorry, Kyle's saying, hey, if you take advantage of the warranty, it's actually become a better deal. The trouble is, I feel like I don't. I bought warranties on a handfuls of furniture, and like even though I think not long ago our couch dog Pete or something like that. So I call them up. I'm like, hey, we got the full warranty, and they're like, oh, this isn't really the number. You need to call this other person. You need to work with the salesman who sold it to you. Who doesn't work here anymore. And there's this runaround that we eventually found was like more of a pain in the ass than like steam cleaning the couch.
Yeah.